Now we have our second keynote, Eric Hatcherall from Spark Therapeutics. He is Vice President and Head of Manufacturing at Spark Therapeutics, headquartered in Philadelphia. In this role, he is responsible for internal and external manufacturing, materials management, and manufacturing science and technology. Eric joined Spark in September 2020 and reports to the Chief Technology Officer. With over 20 years' experience in the pharmaceutical industry, Eric's subject matter expertise includes operations, supply chain, and MS&T in large molecule and vaccines, as well as cell and gene therapy. Prior to joining Spark, Eric was Site General Manager and VP of Operations for Catalent Gene Therapy in Baltimore, Maryland. Earlier in his career, he served in increasingly responsible operations and technical roles during his 15 years with Merck & Company. Welcome, Eric.
These are my speaking notes. I'm showing these to you all so that I have a witness. My communications lead tells me I go off script too much and that I need to come with speaking notes. So I'm going to go off script right now before we dive into the slide. I'm so excited to be here. This is such an exciting event for me. And I just want to share with you personally why this is so exciting for me. I have a very slick slide deck here that was created by my communications team. Started about a month ago. I had to fill out a form to start a review process within Spark so that medical affairs and legal could put their take on the slides. There's a little code at the bottom there. I don't know what it means, mgene something or other. They added that to my slides. Why do you care? The last email that I had about this slide deck before I put it into the Dropbox for Nancy at 11:30 yesterday, 30 minutes before the deadline, had 8 people on it. 8 people that I can name at Spark were involved in this deck, plus me. Of the 9 of us, 1 is involved in actually getting product into a patient. And that would be me, because I manufacture it. That means that 8 other people were involved in this deck who have nothing to do with getting product into a patient directly. So when we talk about ecosystem, just think about that for a minute. Out of 9 people, 8 of them are in other functions. Think about this. Spark was founded 9 years ago with 5 people. I had twice as many people working on this slide deck for you today. You should feel really excited about this. That's me being off script. So that's why I'm so excited to be here, because we in this room are creating an entire ecosystem in Philadelphia. We're creating jobs. I cannot tell you if these 8 people were from Philadelphia City or not. I am not. I'm a Montgomery County resident, not a Philadelphia County resident, so I'll be honest. I will be creating jobs in Philadelphia City for Philadelphia City residents when our new manufacturing center opens up in 2026. I'll be creating them a couple years before. I will be hiring people who are non-degreed, who are living in the West Philadelphia area. I will be improving that community. I'm so excited to be able to have this kind of contribution at a company like Spark. So now I'm done being off message. I'm going to get into the slides. I do have notes, but I just want to share with you personally why I am so excited to stand here in front of you today. So we can go to the next. Well, I'm Eric Hatcherall, head of manufacturing at Spark. So that's all this slide says. We can go to the next slide. Do I control them? Oh, no. There's some videos in here. I really hope they work. So there's 2 videos in here. Spark was founded in 2013. Like I said, there were 5 people involved. We spun out of CHOP. CHOP was our investor, so we did not go through venture capital rounds. Jeff Marazzo, the founder, was very proud of that fact. That he was able to spin this out of CHOP with CHOP investment and did not have to go through series of investment rounds. Sorry to the VC folks in the room. But Spark's a little bit of a unique story there. We are headquartered in Philadelphia. When I came here 2 years ago, we were talking about building a new manufacturing center, and I sort of pushed for, are we even thinking about doing it in a field somewhere? Because I really don't want to have to deal with a freight elevator. I lost. We're building in West Philadelphia. I will have a freight elevator. I will have two, I hope. So when one goes down, I have a solution. And it was really a Spark commitment to build in Philadelphia, and supported by Roche, who loves building in cities. Their headquarters is in Basel. They do manufacturing in Basel, Switzerland. They do manufacturing in South San Francisco through Genentech, so they're really city-focused. Spark has Luxturna, the first approved gene therapy product ever, so we will always be the first, and there's only one first, and we're very proud of that. Spark was acquired in 2019 by Roche. December of odd years is always spectacular for Spark. December 2017, Luxturna. December 2019 was the Roche acquisition. I don't know what happened in December. Oh, December 2021, we announced the Gene Therapy Innovation Center. That's the $500 million, 600,000 square foot manufacturing investment that we're making in Philadelphia. How can I forget that? So we can go to the next slide. I don't know what that last thing, if you look at these slides after the fact, if they're shared, it says doubled our employee base, and it says 500 to 800. That's more than doubled. I don't know why that's a typo, apparently. So mission and vision statements are really very boring, but I love Sparks, and it's part of the reason I love being a Spark employee. The vision statement that we envision a world where no life is limited by genetic disease, that's really a very strong mission statement, because that mission statement is not something Spark will solve on its own. That is beyond the capabilities of one company. That is the ecosystem, and that's our vision. Next slide. So this is all the data about Spark, and it's really focused on programs, people, square feet, and dollars. So you could see in 2013, when we were founded, 5 people started the company. More people touched this deck than that. We are now at 800 people. Disclaimer, I started 2 years ago, so I can't really talk about the Spark growth from 5 to 800. We were 400 when I started, but we've doubled in size in the last 2 years, which is still remarkable. That's still 400 new jobs that we've created. In terms of programs, we have one commercial program, Luxturna, first gene therapy that was approved in the world. Did I mention that? We have 4 programs in the pipeline and 5 preclinical programs, so a total of 10 programs. We have a very active business development team. Also, Roche has a gene therapy development program, and their intent is to send their products to Philadelphia once they're at commercial phase. So we'll manufacture the commercial products in the Gene Therapy Innovation Center in Philadelphia, the new facility. 130 square feet feels like the size of a home office. I'm not really sure what that space actually looked like, but we are heading over 1 million square feet we're at 300,000 right now and heading to over 1 million. And then you can see the investments that we've made in the area. We've made investments in the Bulletin Building. We've made investments in 38th and Market Street, our facility in 38th and Market Street. We have offices at 3711 Market Street, offices in FMC and Sierra, and we are doing the expansion projects. So the most recent one that was announced in December was the manufacturing facility, $575 million. Next slide. So this is one of the videos.
Gene therapy research, then and now. The idea of gene therapy is not new. In fact, scientists have been investigating and evolving it for more than 50 years, and to date, more than 2,300 gene therapy clinical trials are planned, ongoing, or have been completed. Gene therapy research, some in very early stages, is focusing on many diseases that are partly or fully caused by genetic mutations, such as blood clotting disorders, for example, hemophilia, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative disorders such as Parkinson's disease, vision disorders, and musculoskeletal disorders. The potential of gene therapy research brings hope to millions of people living with currently untreatable diseases. Understanding genetic disease. Before you can understand what gene therapy research is, it's important to know what a gene is. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. Within a cell, there's a nucleus, which contains chromosomes. Chromosomes are made up of DNA, which is the body's hereditary material. Genes are segments of DNA. Genes contain instructions for making proteins, which are molecules that build, regulate, and maintain the body. Sometimes there's a change in a gene's DNA sequence. This is called a mutation and can cause a necessary protein to not work properly or to be missing. A mutation can be a substitution, deletion, or duplication. Some mutations are harmless, but others can result in a genetic disease. Simply put, gene therapy is an investigational approach with the goal of treating or possibly preventing a genetic disease. Exploring the potential of gene therapy. One goal of gene therapy research is to determine whether a new or functional gene can be used to restore the function of or inactivate a mutated gene. One way for this to happen is to deliver a gene into a cell. To do so, a transporter known as a vector is typically used. A vector can be made from an altered virus, which means that before the virus is used, its viral genes are removed. Vectors can be given intravenously, which means they are administered into a vein or injected into a specific tissue in the body. There are 3 commonly used vectors. One of them, adeno-associated virus, or AAV, is not known to cause disease, which is why it may be used as a viral vector to transport a gene into the cell. In this example, the gene delivered into the cell does not integrate into its DNA and cannot be passed down to new cells. Once the cell has received the functional gene, it should address the mutation by producing the necessary protein or stopping production of the harmful protein. At Spark Therapeutics, we are using AAV vectors to advance research programs against strategically selected target tissues. For example, the retina, liver, and central nervous system, which is all a part of our mission to challenge the inevitability of genetic disease.
Okay. We can go to the next slide. So I started in gene therapy 3 years ago at Catalent Gene Therapy, and my first boss there, I came in as a plant manager. My first boss said, find something solid to hold on to and hold on as hard as you can, because this is the Wild West and things are changing so quick. And gene therapy has been the most fun I've ever had in my career, at least. So I want to share that. So Spark, we have been able to transform ourselves from 5 people into we're an innovator company, and we're a fully integrated innovator company. We do our own research and development, manufacturing. We do our own regulatory, what's the right word? Regulatory strategy. We're out there trying to impact strategy, regulatory perspective, and then we have patient care as well. And the next slide was already actually mentioned in the video. It says that we are basically in 3 areas: ocular, liver-directed, and neurodegenerative diseases. There are 3 common target areas for gene therapy because they're 3 very accessible areas for the specific type of product that we make. So let's just talk for a slide or 2 about Luxturna, and then I will close with 1 slide about the Philadelphia area. Next slide. So Luxturna is a vision treatment product. It's a rare genetic disease that causes blindness, and it's a progressive disease, so you're not born blind. It occurs over time. This is one of our patients, another Eric, and he was an executive and then decided he wanted to become an impressionist painter and started to lose his vision after he made that transition. So obviously, tough transition for him if he's trying to be a painter and can no longer see. The next slide is some prescribing information about Luxturna, and the real takeaway on this slide is that we're also the first licensed gene therapy product in the EU, top of the US. And outside the US, Novartis markets our product. Inside the US, Spark does it ourselves. The next slide is a video. And in this video, let me just tell you what you're going to see. On the left is a patient before treatment trying to follow a maze in a low light scenario. It's a 1.5-minute video. We don't have to watch the whole thing in the interest of time. On the right is the same patient after treatment, following a similar maze, different maze, but similar. The one on the right goes much quicker. So watch the one on the right, and then you can transition to the one on the left. I just wanted to stage that. Oh, this one I think you have to click on.
Start. Redirect.
Yeah, that video gets me every time. That's true impact from a gene therapy product. We can go to the next slide now. So Spark has picked up a lot of awards over the years as the company has grown, and many of them are listed here, both a great place to work, a great innovator company, great scientific company. Hopefully we pick up some manufacturing awards when our new facility comes online, fingers crossed. And then the last slide is our ecosystem. It's a little bit hard to see here. This is the Southeast Pennsylvania area. You could see that West Philadelphia is actually the blow up on the far left with all the names in it, because there's no room to put those logos in West Philadelphia. Over 40 gene therapy companies in this area. What I want is more manufacturing companies up and down the street next to me, stealing people from me, so that my hardest job is to train people, hire new people, train them, hire new people, train them. That's when we really nailed it. That's when we really have success. And that's why I think that what we're doing in this room is so impactful. So I will close there, and we will roll on to the rest of our day. Thank you.